Good day and welcome to all the racing enthusiasts around the globe. Yes, it's that time of the year, South Africa's greatest horse racing event of the year, the Hollywoodbets Durban July. The fever is there, everything's in place, and now the countdown is certainly beginning. Lovely to have Alistair Cohen in studio. It's been a busy week for most, busy 2 weeks, 3 weeks for a lot of us out there. We're soldiering along and the day couldn't come quick enough.
Sheldon, I think for us it's been a busy few months because you walk off here on Hollywoodbets Durban July Day and you're already thinking of next year, then you get the Betway Summer Cup, then you get the Cape Summer Festival, and all these big horses, all these big names. You think, is that a July winner? Is that a July winner? Is that a July winner? And as far as these Gallop previews are concerned, of the 300 plus that we record over the year, I think this is the one that the viewers are really looking forward to, and great to have you on board to impart a little bit of your knowledge for this 12 race card. As you say, it's Africa's greatest horse racing and social event, so going to be a magical day. It always is. It's chapter 129 of the great race, so yep, really looking forward to it.
Absolutely unbelievable. So let's get straight into the first race, which is due off at 11:45 on a 12 race program. Number one, Happy and Nalia has found the bulk of the support from 8-1 down 5-1. 2 Summer Winter 11-2, 11 Ethereal View is 6-1, and then 7-1 and Better the rest. I like one horse here in the first race, Alistair, number 4 Whirly Bird. Clinton Binder for the Canford Cliffs, and this is for the Hollywood Racing. How good would it be for Anthony Delpeche, Owen and Devon and them to open the batting? And I'm just going on the average rating that this horse has been taking on in the past.
Well, it would truly set the tone. Remember a couple of years ago when Hollywood sponsored their first July, Blackthorn won the Gold Vase. And you just thought, wow, how the stars aligned for Hollywood. At the time there weren't many feature races that they had won, and all of a sudden Blackthorn rocks up on Gold Vase Day, and like I said, sets the tone for what has proven to be a seriously beneficial support base for South African horse racing. So yes, this would be the perfect way to start the card with number 4 Whirly Bird. I must confess, of all 12 races on the card, this is the one that does least to the pulse. It's not a race that I'll be getting too stuck into. I think number 10 Pour Some Sugar on Me is the most interesting horse in the race. I love how she won last time. She won easier than the margin suggested. Overall in the poly, she's got a good record, 3 wins of her 4 career starts. Serena Moodley takes a ride for Dennis Bosch. I think Serena's got some very promising rides on the day. So if you were to push me into a bet, I think maybe Quartet in the first race, your horse and my horse double float by the field. Just look to make a little bit of money before the serious business starts.
Well, there you go. That's a look at race number 1. So keep a close eye. It's the opener, as you heard from Alistair. Not one of the easiest races on the cards, but if you hit your cards right in the first race, you'll be playing for free.
Race number 2 starts by pot 1. There's so much selection as far as the exotics are concerned. The pick 6 being the big one, the whirlpools for the Hollywoodbets Durban July, and that magical quartet carryover to race number 7. But as far as race number 2 is concerned, the tote middle stakes over 1200 metres starter jackpot 1. 12 Pink Pigeon is a 5-2 favourite. Number 10 Princess Hannah's found some support, in fact quite a bit of support. 5-1 is the price. Number 6 Bevy's Delight at 11-2. 5 Miss Ladiatrix 7-1, and number 7 That's My Baby at 8-1. Double figures about the others. I'm surprised at the price of number 9 Convocation. I think she's a bit more lively than your average 10-1 shot. So Sheldon, perhaps a big upgrade as far as from race 1 to race number 2 as far as the quality is concerned. A little bit of feature race form to work with in the first leg of the bar pot, which is your suggested bet. What's the play on race 2?
Well, I'm looking at number 4, Captain's Christie, at a bit of value at around 12 and 14-1. And number 9, Convocation. You like that? I also very get that a real big shout. Captain's Christie, she has been beaten by Bevy's Delight in the past and a couple of them. But I've just got a feeling that they've aimed her for this race specifically. Serena Moodley's riding at the top of his game. She's never won on the poly. She's only had the 1 run on the poly, and she's never won over the distance. So there are a few question marks to be answered. Whereas number 9 Convocation absolutely loves it. Course and distance 1 from 1. And Gareth and Gavin Van Zyl and the team the other day, 6 winners, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they're in pink of health, and what a good time to be in form. Just 2 horses I want to quiz you about here, Sheldon. Number 6, Bevy's Delight, ran in a feature last time. She may have been outgunned there. She had every opportunity at the weights to run a little bit better, but I suppose she wasn't disgraced. What do you make of her chances?
I make her a huge runner. She's got to be a big contender. If you look at her form, also unbeaten, course and distance, 1 from 1. She's got 1 out of 5 wins on the poly. The last run, although back in 10th, was just over 2.5 lengths behind. So I'd give this one a very big each way chance. And then number 1, Call Me When You Need Me at around 16-1. That 4 kgs off from that 1 draw. The pilot will just have to steer this one and get a big run at 16-1.
Yeah, she's got form to grade 1 horses in the form of Mia Moo, and then Just Be Lacquer, who runs in a grade 1 later in the day, and Banff, who I know is targeting some nice races later in the year. And then you've got Pink Pigeon, if you listen to Justin Snaith's comments on the Hollywood Bets panel discussion that aired on Supersport and SABC on Wednesday night. From that draw, it's not going to be easy, but she is a nice filly. And a lot of these horses are travelling up from Cape Town. They haven't arrived as of Thursday morning, but they will be arriving on Thursday. It's an experiment to see how Justin's going to approach next season. But the start of the bipop, there we go. Sheldon's keen on a little bit of an outsider in the form of number 4, Captain's Christie.
Moving along to race number 3, which is the Magical Zulu Kingdom 2200, the grade 3 over 2200 meters. That's the starting point to the Hollywoodbets Durban July. And this is a race where you can look at a few runners and get a feel for a few of them. And just having a look, the scratching of number 6, Litigation, getting into the Hollywoodbets Durban July, just throws a cat amongst the pigeons, because I was very strong in Litigation, and now I've had to change my mind and go with number 4, the Equator. Have you heard anything about this import?
What I've heard, Sheldon, you don't want to know. They thought he could win the Hollywoodbets Durban July, hence they kept him there until the final stage. He's a son of Galileo. From what I understand, he's knocking everything off the work as if they're nothing. But again, you've got a horse that you know absolutely zero about, and there's a horse at the Vaal on Thursday called Dealmaker, who's also internationally bred, so that would give us a little bit of clarification as to how these international, well, it's not necessarily apples with apples, but how these international horses might fare. 1 win, 4 place as far as his UK career is concerned. He's a son of Galileo. He has been brought here for stallion aspirations because he's so well bred. The noise is loud. He was carded to race on Jubilee Stakes there at Turfentine around a month ago with scratch due to elevated TCO2. So that still keeps us in the dark for Africa's greatest horse race. So as far as the exotics are concerned, I would feel uncomfortable bankering him just because we don't know. But you have to put him into the play because, again, you don't know. He could very well make light of the opposition. I don't think it's a bad consolation race at all. I think there are a few horses here that look in place for ripe runs. There's talk about number 5, Blackberry Malt. I must be honest, I'm not really on his side. I think that he would be more of a force over a little bit further. I think number 9, Field Marshal, is a huge chance in the race. I think Frank Robinson's got his horses in good hearts at the moment. 54.5 kilograms, number 9, Field Marshal, makes some appeal, especially on the run to King Pearls last time, who runs obviously in the 3,000 meter race. And then the 2 from Cape Town, Magic Verse and Otto Luke. And I know that Justin was desperate to get Magic Verse into the Hollywoodbets Durban July. Sadly, by not winning any of the prep runs, he just didn't make the cut, so Justin took the opportunity to run him in calmer waters. But I'm of the opinion that this horse, Otto Lucan, has found a sweet spot with the blinkers on. He tried cheap pieces for a lot of his career. He did okay, but blinkers just seems to have added another dimension to his career. He beat Garrix last time, and please be with me, Garrix is in for a very good summer in Cape Town. So of the runners that we know something about, 11, Otto Lucan's the horse that I'd lean towards, but number 4, the Equator, has to be included in everything, just simply on reputation, and he makes appeal just on paper without that reputation anyway.
Well, there we go. The unknown, the uncertainty. We'll find out on race day about number 4, the Equator, who is as short as 11-10 as we speak. Obviously, the scratching of Litigation, there has been deductions, but let's see how number 4, the Equator, is, and he might just be divisions above this field.
Well, we don't need to talk much about the pick six. 15 million rand the target. I think that is very conservative estimation because it is Africa's greatest horse race and it is also the biggest betting day on the South African calendar. All eyes will be on the product. It's the Grade 3 Durban Gold Vase over 3,000 metres, and the market has number 3 King Pearls a 3-1 shot and shortening. Number 13 Holding Thumbs is at 4-1. 5 Shoot the Rapids 9-2. 12 Future Swing 5-1. The good old game Nebras number 9 at 8-1, and double figures about the others, and I'm not convinced that the race stops there, Sheldon Peters. In the first leg of the pick six, everyone's going to be taking a pick six, whether it's your general bet of choice 365 days of the year or not. I think everyone's going to have a little stab in the hope of being part of this massive pool. So what do we do? Which horses make the shortlist?
Well, when looking at race number 4, I've been with the connections of King Pearls for the last couple of weeks. We've been doing the functions together, we've been hanging around together, and you start to get a feel about a horse, and the stable is supremely confident. He'll get the 3,000 meter trip the way he won that 2-4 last time out. They don't want to know this horse getting beat. They're exceptionally confident. Samanga Kamalo's worked him, and the work he's put up is second to none, they tell me. So I'm going to go with number 3, King Pearls. He's a horse who's on the up, and he'll be the horse to beat. But for me, the horse he has to beat is number 5, Shoot the Rapids. If you look at his third to Field Marshal, he ran just behind Salukwe. He's run to some decent horses early on in his career behind Flagman. So I think King Pearls, number 3, and number 5, Shoot the Rapids. And then if you look past those horses, maybe a horse like number 13, Holding Thumbs, but he's got that poor draw to overcome.
Yeah, interesting this because Shoot the Rapids ran second the race last year as a 3-year-old, and you don't see too many 3-year-olds run in the Gold Vase / Gold Cup. We've got Bombers in the Sky obviously as a 3-year-old this year, and Ahead of the Facts, who are both interesting in their own way. But Shoot the Rapids just a year more mature, with Gavin Larena on board for Frank Robinson. The colours are Sid Mudley. This is the Madison Valley team for the Hollywoodbets Durban July. So he is lively. Just a quick mention, I've got an inkling number 10 Vernie King can run to the quartet. Am I mad?
I don't think you're mad at all. This is a horse who he can really turn it on. He switches off beautifully. That's in his favour. So the 3,000 metre trip, I got no problems with that. It's his 400 to finish, which is his secret weapon. He's a horse who can really turn it on. Nicholas Patel, though, he's just going to have to time it right. Hopefully the pace is decent, he gets into a good rhythm, and I would not be shocked at all to see number 10 Vernie King win, run second, third or fourth.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I see it as well. So an intriguing first leg of the pick six as far as Durban Gold Vases are concerned. A very lively field indeed.
Welcome back as we move to the first of our graded races, which is the Splash Out Golden Slipper Grade 2 over 1,400 meters. And when we chat to Alistair, he'll give us his thoughts and insight. It's always very interesting with these 2-year-olds. They make different degrees of progress at different rates, and all the money is for number 9, Another Dance for Me. 4 runs, 4 wins. Richard Ferree, Andrew Fortune Road last time out, 5-1 down 2-1. Number 10 Green Diamond from 14 to 10 has gone 28-10, and a bit of money around for number 8 Quick Step Gal. Alistair, let's kick off with number 9, Another Dance for Me. Now, we've seen the PE Raiders, they've come to KwaZulu-Natal, they haven't disgraced themselves, and this horse from Kabeka, Richard Ferree's obviously got a soft spot for him.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Sheldon, what Alan Treef has done before we get to this race, champion trainer is going to be Justin Snaith, but for me, trainer of the season is Alan Treef. I don't know what the Equus committee are doing, but there is a special achievement award on Equus Night, and Alan Freef's name has got to be in the hat for winning feature races in Cape Town, Joburg and Durban, and on the biggest stage on Grade 1 race days as well. This will be a huge test for number 9, Another Dance for Me, but what she's done, how impressive she's been, how she's blown them away, has been nothing short of sensational. That is obviously on her home patch of Aberga, but what's to say that she can't do it here, because Greef has done it with Direct Hit and with Golden Palm, 2 of the other boom 2-year-old fillies from his yard. The noises are strong about number 9, Another Dance for Me. She's winning easy in the margin, suggested. She won hands and heels last time, beating King Prawn. So she's very much in the play. I think it's an absolute 3-horse race, this Sheldon. Tinny's filly number 8, Quick Step Girl. I heard reports from Hollywoodbets Scottsville on the 27th of April that she's a top filly. Keep an eye on her. They're going to win races with her. And the way that she won, beating Captain's Envy by a neck, okay, cool. nice filly. But seeing her in the flesh and do what she did on Gold Challenge Day was a completely different kettle of fish. A serious filly is number 8, Quick Step Girl. Got all the time in the world for her. And then number 10, Green Diamond. What worries me about Green Diamond is that although she hacked up last year in the Protea, Vannekum's still a maiden. And doesn't look like winning anytime soon. She was a contender for Hollywoodbets Scottsville. She was taken out. There was a little bit of a setback, but there's no doubting her class and her ability. Number 10, Green Diamond, and Gavin Lorena's engagement does prick a few ears. Absolute 3-horse race for me. If anything else arrives, I'll be in big trouble, but I am going to lean towards Alan Rios filly. Number 9, Another Dance for me. She is seriously good.
Well, there we go, Alistair, and majority of the money is on number 9, Another Dance for me, from 5-1 down 2-1. And when the boys put the money down like that in the baby races, they're obviously looking to stay undefeated. And Richard Ferry back in the irons, and let's see how number 9, Another Dance for me, if she's going to come waltzing home in race number 5.
The Grade 2 Motor Golden Horse Show over 1,400 metres, race number 6 on the card. And here we have a field of 14 plus 3 reserves to go to post. And as you'd expect on Hollywoodbets Durban July, talk for quite a few. Number 6, Malmesbury Missile, has been supported. Open up 6-1. Can you believe that? 5-2, the latest price. 2 Elegantrix, the only filly in the race. Corne Spies got an unbelievable record on this race day. 4-1. 8 Intensity. I can tell you, MJ Odendaal does not want to know. Prices half from 16-1 to 8-1, 4 Aristocratic 10-1, 10 Tin Pan Alley and 13 Charming Cheetah, all 10-1 shots. And I'm not convinced that the race stops there, Sheldon. What's your stance with Malmesbury Missile? Are you confident that that he's going to take all the beating, or are you shopping around with quite a few horses?
I'll be shopping around. I think he's a place accumulator banker and a quartet bank, a roving banker for the quartets. But as far as the win position goes, number 4, Aristocratic, was so impressive first time out. We know the Dean Cannemeyer outfit. He sent out champions over the years, Eye of the Tiger and the Likes Dynasty. And they're horses that come through with flying colours. And this is a race where there's 7-8 horses that you can throw in. You mentioned number 8, Intensity. He finished like an absolute steam train last time behind Good For You, so you'd have to throw him in.
He finished so strongly that he threw MJ Wood and Marco van Rensburg off on the pull-up.
Yeah. Unbelievable. He was coming like an absolute express train, and the rider had to hop off to get off, and that's number 8, Intensity. The Denon Platina from the Dean Cannemeyer stable, I was super impressed by him. We know Holy Star did get beaten after that, but it was the way that he won that stamped his mark.
Very interesting. I think just from my side, Candace is confident number 3, Chronicle King, will run a big race. He's a seriously nice horse. Tenjiku was sort of tenderly ridden on local debut in the gate crasher, so might be better value than the length and a half back. Tin Pan Alley hacked up last time in the Winter Juvenile, and I think there's a lot to like about Counts of Row. And then we got Grade 1 form with number 13, Charming Cheetah, was a little bit unlucky. I'm with you. I think that I would be shopping around as far as pick sixes and jackpots are concerned. I'm tipping number 6, Malmesbury Missile, on top. But is he past the post? No. Very, very interesting race, this, Sheldon.
So there, both Alistair and I, we both on the same page. We are tipping number 6, Malmesbury Missile, from 6-1 down 5-2. However, we've got a sneaky feeling there might be 1 or 2 waiting in the wings, and this could be the race to produce a 33-1 for the exotics, and boom, you're out of it. Right, we wait an entire 365 days of the year for this running of the Hollywoodbets Durban July Grade 1 over 2,200 meters. And Alistair, all the panels we on, all the people you talk to, once a year they all flock together, and everybody's got their own opinions on the race. And it's one of those races where you take your pick, you put your money down, and you hope they arrive.
It's amazing, Sheldon. You've got to set up your stance in the Hollywoodbets Durban July, but so being in Cape Town and Joburg and Durban, you learn a lot about July fever and how people take it in. And for me, outside of Durban even this year, it's bigger and better and bolder. It's all cliche, but it's serious. I mean, July fever in Cape Town, July fever in Joburg, people have been talking about this for months, earlier and more advanced than what they have in the past. And when you turn up in Durban, sort of in the weeks before the Hollywoodbets Durban July, it's amazing how of the 18 horses in the race, you hear about all 18 horses. Someone likes the horse at the bottom of the board. Someone likes Rainbow Lorikeet. Someone likes Litigation. I mean, these are a Native Ruler as well. These are horses that I, quite frankly, don't put on the race. But someone out there is having their money on these horses. That's why this race is so different and hits so differently. I mean, I must confess, let's go back 6 months during the Cape season, started thinking, right, who's the July horse, who's the July horse? And for me, it was all sail the seas, provided he made it this far and also didn't win in the lead-up. And both of them didn't happen. He won the World Sports Betting KZN Guineas, and then obviously he didn't make the Hollywoodbets Durban July. He was scratched straight out of that after winning and getting a hand at 127. We've got the boom horse, the current boom horse, number 11, 8 on 18. For me, deserves his place at the top of the board. He is the horse that they all need to beat. Everyone that you speak to, those who have a top selection that's not 8 on 18, the default is 8 on 18 is the horse to beat. And of course he is. He jumps out of gate 11, the same gate that Oriental Charm jumped out of. The pace of the race for the first time in years, don't doubt the pace. It's going to be a strong pace. Oriental Charm from gate 1 is going to be positively ridden. If he has to lead, he leads. But with Purple Picture and Confederates in the race, they're going to make sure that the pace is on, because that's their best chance. So if Oriental Charm sneaks just in behind and gets a nice run through, everything's going to go according to plan for him. And then when I think of how the race is going to be run, the horse that I can see storming home with 8 on 18, two horses, are 6 Salukwe and 16 Gladiatorian. But I haven't mentioned my top choice, who is number 10, Immediate Edge. Watched him closely. I know what Ryan Munger thinks of him. I know what Mike and Matthew de Kock think of him. Mike's comments on the Supersport panel were a little bit of a kick for touch, which does worry me that this has probably come 6 months too soon, and he's been sucked into all the fever and everything that goes with it. But he knows that 8 on 18, that Immediate Edge is better than a 108, much better than a 108, and he is convinced that this is a serious racehorse. If not now, he is going to be. So his win in the Jubilee, a lot of people say, what did he beat? I think it was a strong Jubilee, a stronger Jubilee than what we've seen in previous years. I know he carried 52. He couldn't possibly miss on paper, but he did the job and he disposed of them in no uncertain terms. I love the way that he turned it on. Is he the best handicapped horse in the race? No, that is easily number 11, 8 on 18. But in my pick 6, I'm going to have 5 horses. Number 1, Oriental Charm, just for pure guts, effort, and just the way that he wants to get the job done. No way I can sit here and say he can't win. He can. So 1 Oriental Charm, 6 Salukwe, because everything's going to go according to plan and how he runs, 10 Immediate Edge, 11 8 on 18, and 16 Gladiatorian. 5 horses for me in the pick 6. How many are you going to have, and who are you eliminating from my play? Who are you including that's not on my play?
I'll be on your page. I'm going to be with those horses because I believe they're horses they all have to beat. Kicking on Oriental Charm, the defending champion. He's got the 1 draw, 60 kilograms on his back. He ran second to 8 on 18 with 59.5 on his back. And at the weight swing around, Oriental Charm, I think he's going to be a huge runner. And how fitting would it be for Greg Bortz, Leon Elman, Gina Goldsmith, and the Oriental Charm Syndicate, and James Crawford to win again?
Absolutely. And remember that James was just an assistant this time last year. It's been Brett and Brett with Winchester Mansion and Oriental Charm, although James was very much integral. The horse was prepped in Joburg, where James has been based for the last few years. So it's not like he's been in the shadows. He's been very much in the forefront. But it would be appropriate. James only in his, 3rd month of being a trainer all by himself, while his father will start plying his trade in Hong Kong from the start of next season. Just before we go, the Quartet is one of the big plays. The Whirlpool, obviously part of the race as well. If there's a horse at any price off radar that you would put into your top 4, who would it be?
I'm looking at number 7, Rainbow Lorikeet, the biggest price runner. They were laying 100 to 1 at some of the card calls. I can't see her winning it, but I just got a sneaky feeling maybe a dirty 4th. So throw in number 7, Rainbow Lorikeet at the biggest price. And then number 8, Pomodora's Jet, also at a massive price. Hasn't had an ideal prep, going for 4 in a row. But those are horses that I would structure in and throw into the exotics. I like Immediate Edge. And a 3-year-old to carry 53 kilograms, that is the deal sealer. Yeah. Horses 57 kgs is a 3-year-old, 8 on 18, he's a top class animal. He's got his shoulder the 57. He's been winning the Group 1s like they just absolutely nothing. The way he swept on by last time, it's been a long time since I've seen a horse with a turn of foot like that.
Yeah, he's a serious horse, and he's doing things the other way around. He won the Met as a 3-year-old, whereas you normally get July horses from a 3-year-old going into the Met. He's gone the other way around. Number 11, 8 on 18, serious racehorse. Anyway, we shall see just after 4 o'clock on Saturday, the 2025 Hollywoodbets Durban July. A lot of people are saying this is the race of the day, and I agree with them. This is the Garden Province Stakes, sponsored by Ridgemont. They've got Mon Petit Cherie in the event, and there's grade ones, and then there's grade ones, and this is out of the top draw. I don't think there's been too many weak Ridgemont Garden Province Stakes, Sheldon, but this one really is out of the top draw. We got grade one winners aplenty in the race. We've got horses who look like they can win grade ones. They're horses that have placed at grade one level. Just a quick run through the market. Number 9, Double Grand Slam. The opening price was crazy. She's now 5-2 at the time of recording. 11, Spumante Dolce, 4-1. De Kock, they won it last year with Humdinger. 7, Mon Petit Cherie, 6-1. 10, Fatal Flaw, a 2-time grade one winner, 6-1. And number 6, Raskova. How dare we shortchange her? She's a 10-1 shot, Sheldon. What a race this is. Probably the race of the day, dare I say.
100% right. And number 9, Double Grand Slam. Unlucky last year. Unlucky in the South African filly sprint when she was caught up in a roadblock on the inside. She should have gone very, very close to winning, where Mia Moo won on that occasion. And Alistair, one thing I can say, you say she opened up a mad price. At some of the card calls, or one particular card call, 7 and 8-1 were available about Double Grand Slam.
People want to get hurt.
I think they want to get hurt. I got stuck in full on. I won't be calling the race, so there's no pressure on me. But I thought at 7-1, 8-1 Double Grand Slam was an absolute steal. So I had a nice bet on Double Grand Slam. And then 10-1 Raskova. You put her in the same breath. 10-1, an absolute steal if she wins.
They've run 7 times, and it's 4-3 to Double Grand Slam. So one's 5-2, one cannot be 10-1.
100%.
It's as simple as that. Of those not sort of at the top of the tongue, who would be your other one that might give them something to think about? Is 11 Spumante Dolce worth a good look?
She's actually my third selection after that second to 8 on 18. The draw, obviously, a little bit of a concern. She's a 3-year-old. She's up and coming. But I think the more racing experience she gets, the better she's going to be. And I'd make her a huge runner. So number 9, Double Grand Slam, 6, Raskova, and 11, Spumante Dolce. They'll be my top 3 selections. And then tell me if I'm off my radar with number 1, Just Be Lacquer for the trifectas and quartets.
Janice has always believed that she can mix it with the best. She's got draw 1. So, Double Grand Slam was very unlucky in the South African filly sprint at Hollywoodbets Scottsville last time. Just Be Lacquer was equally as unlucky. She gets right into the photo with a little bit more luck. Serena Moodley loves this filly to beat the big 2, and Spumante Dolce would take a monumental effort. All three would have to run flat, and Just Be Lacquer would have to run the race of her life. But quartets wouldn't put you off.
Well, if you know your Afrikaans, that would just be lekker if number 1 had to win and beat Double Grand Slam and the likes of Raskova. But number 9, Double Grand Slam, they out here for a reason, and she's out for revenge. And Raskova, Spumante Dolce, they'll be the horses pressing her right down to the wire. Moving on to race number 9, which is the Post Merchants Grade 3 Open. No allowances over 1,200 meters. And when you look at the best weighted column, number 12, William Robinson, who's an absolute sprinting sensation. If you look at his form, he's a 15-time winner, and he absolutely loves the distance. 4 of his victories over the distance. He's won at the course before, so you've got to give him healthy respect. However, Alistair, all the money's in for number 9, which is Buffalo Storm Cody, looking for 4 on the trot. How impressed have you been with these victories?
Very impressed, but he's got to do more now, Sheldon. And I'm not saying that he can't, because he's on the right track and he's done nothing wrong since being gelded. That's brought new life into the son of Buffalo Bill Cody. I've been listening closely to what Gavin Lorena's been saying about this horse, and he's brimming in confidence. That probably accounts for the support with number 9, Buffalo Storm Cody. Keeps mentioning the fact that around the turn you're going to see the best of this horse. So we'll take that at face value and work with number 9, Buffalo Storm Cody. But this is a very strong edition of the Post Merchants. This is literally bar gimme a Prince and Tanango. This is the Mercury Sprint. It is, like I said, 2 horses that are missing from the race, but everything else that needs to be there is there, from Cape Town, from Joburg. So and even from PE, because we've got Cruise Control from Gavin Smith's yard, who's made the trip as well. And wonderful to have all sorts of inclusion on Hollywoodbets Durban July. Sure, Sheldon, I'm going to surprise you here with my top choice. Number 1, My Sensation. I think she's a huge chance. Ignore the last run again in the messy South African filly sprint. Draw 1 in a race that favours fillies. They have a good record in this race, 51.5 kilos. She's there for nothing. I think she's worth an each way stab at the absolute worst, number 1, My Sensation. There has been support for her. Don't know if she's quite a Group 1 filly, but definitely Grade 3 with 51.5. She's alive. I can talk about Truth, unbelievable workhorse. He's in very, very good form at home. He'll have blinkers on. If he gets off to the lead and they leave him alone, he's got such a high cruising speed and he can kick off that. From that draw, hopefully he doesn't get too intimidated and they shuffle him up in the early stages and he's gone. But if he's allowed to get handy, he can be very, very dangerous. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't like number 4, Otaniqua. I like him as a horse, but at the weights, I think he's got plenty to do, number 4, Otaniqua. If he were to win this, then I'll follow him for the rest of his career. And if you like Truth, number 5, Outlaw King's got to come into the picture as well. There's a little bit to choose between them. Last time Outlaw King's got a slight turn at the weights. My opinion is that King of the Gauls, also a live chance, very, very fast horse, showed that last time at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, had no right to run third behind Tananga with the pace that he showed. So, and he also likes Hollywoodbets Greyville. I believe that he's working very, very well. But my opinion about number 12, William Robertson, you can't knock a computer form sprint winner. For me, that's the biggest sprint race of the entire season. I think that should be highlighted as Joburg's number 1 race because it's the only opportunity that they'll have to get horses from outside, all the horses from Cape Town and Durban and PE all turning up in the sprint at altitude. Ignore the last run over a mile, not too sure what he was doing there. I know he's won around the turn before, but I think he's just better in a straight line, number 12, William Robertson, and he's going to feel it with 62 kilograms on his back, although every ounce of that is earned. He's going to feel it here at number 12, William Robertson. In my pick 6, because I would kick myself if he were to win and I left him out because of his undoubted class. But I'm putting him in just purely because of the horse rather than an idea of winning. I think it's a very, very open post merchants. But the key horse as far as making money is concerned is number 1, My Sensation.
And in this horse, number 7, Iron Giant. We had Charfolia running with him the other day, and Iron Giant was obviously having his comeback run behind Luhamba Pambile, 40-1 down, 25-1. And Anthony Del Pesce and the team, they were very pleased with the run, and they said for each and every bet that he runs in, include him on the big race day. And he's a quality horse. He's already won 4 races. He ran 4th to Luhamba Pambile. And then if you look at his previous record to Lucky Lad, that must bring him heavily into the equation for the exotics.
On the Hollywood Bets discussion on Supersport, Anthony Del Pesce was leaning towards this one of the Hollywood racing horses in the race. He's got 3 cruise control. He's got the very enigmatic Ziasha, but he was keen on the chance of number 7, I Am Giant. Quartet chance, absolutely. Could give them a cheap thrill here. I think he's alive.
Well, there you go. Number 7, I Am Giant, 40-1 down, 25-1. Definitely worth including. And as you heard from Alistair, number 1, My Sensation, the daughter of Rafif. This is for Greg Bortz and Gina Goldsmith. The 1 draw, 51.5 on the back. This could be the fly in the ointment and is second best rated just behind William Robinson. So the post merchants over 1,200 meters, a need for speed. At the end of the day, you're going to be the judge, but include a couple of runners in your exotics.
3 races ago, last pick 3 on the day anyway, the Premier Gateway International Handicap, the old Tequila Handicap over 1,600 meters. The market here tells you a story because I think bar the Hollywoodbets Durban July, the most active horse on the day runs, and the former number 6, I Salute You. He's the 3rd favourite, but he's shortened from 12-1 to 5-1. 1 Underworld is a favourite at 4-1, 4 Zeitz 9-2, 6 I Salute You we just mentioned, number 10 Get Impressed 6-1, 10-1 about the others when it comes to this listed mile race. Sheldon, I'm very keen to hear your opinion because I've gone in boots and all with the horse in the race, and I want to know what you think of the race before I reveal my hand.
Well, number 4, Zeitz, I think is a decent horse. There we go. Hands up. Zeitz, let's see, 9-2 from 6-1. I think this is the horse they all have to beat. A cracking 6 behind Madison Valley over the 1,800. The mile trip, obviously they're going to have him razor sharp for the day, and he'll definitely be my first selection. So is that your first selection?
That's my first selection. I'm boots and all with this horse, number 4, Zeitz.
There we go. So number 4, Zaat. That's the Vercingetorix that we've all set our sights on. Number 6, I Salute You. I was with the Connections last night at one of the card calls, and Alistair, they did not want to know. They were taking the 12 to 1, the 10 to 1, the 7 to 1. They were even willing to take as low as 5 to 1.
Well, they've woken up this morning with a headache and a lot of tickets in their pockets.
Plenty.
Yeah, number 6, I Salute You. I thought his run in the World Sports Betting 1900 was fair from the draw, beaten 5 lengths by Salukwe. He's beaten Salukwe as well in the World Sports Betting Sledgehammer, so he's a good horse, is the son of Sokrat. I look to the race expecting to sort of come up favourably with number 6, I Salute You, and I am sort of partial towards his chances. But I think 1800 metres, 2000 metres is just more his chop. I expect him to be doing his best work late and maybe not quite getting there, whereas Zaitz, who had an awful draw last time, I'm of the opinion that he's well above the handicapper as well off a 97. His run in the Politician tells you that, where he beat Garrix, and he beat Garrix comfortably. Yeah, I'm all over this horse, Zaitz. I know that down in Cape Town we had Raheel over and we forced him to do a 3 to follow, and we'll kind of say, what does he know about Zaitz? I mean, we've seen Zaitz run on our own patch and he's tipping this horse as 1 to follow. Very, very good crystal ball that Rahil's got, and if he doesn't win here, I'm still going to be on his side when we get down to Cape Town. Very, very nice horse. Just to report about Grand Crescendo, he can do absolutely anything. He's the grade 1 placed last year over this course and distance. His work remains good, but he can do absolutely anything on race day. Trent Mayhew takes her out for Candice Dawson. I wouldn't leave him out at quartets, but he's not a horse we can be too confident in, because he can do funny things in a race. And number 1, Underworld, has just had a wonderful season. He's been used as almost a sacrificial lamb by Justin Snaith throughout his career, going to PE, setting pace for more glory horses from Justin's yard. So he deserves his day in the sun as number 1, Underworld, and I'd be hesitant to leave him out. But I'm in the same boat, Sheldon. Zaitz for me, I'll banker him everywhere. I think that he'll be hard to beat, and a lot of nice horses will be chasing him down at the end.
Well, we're both in agreement there. Zaat's the horse they all have to set their sights on. Number 6, I Salute You. You heard Grand Crescendo, capable of anything on his day. And a horse like number 1, Underworld, comes heavily into the equation. And let's see what race number 10 over 1600 metres has in store for us. As we step onto the gas and move into the final double of the card, races 11 and 12. Race Coast B Stakes over 1600 metres. And I think it pretty much summed up by the betting. They're betting 9 to 2 and 5 to 1 on the field. Number 6, Rich Folks Hoax, and number 10, Dawn Till Dusk at 5 to 1. Number 8, Xantar at 7 to 1 with 5 to Maris. 8 to 1, number 2, Mastership, and then you can get 12 to 1 and better the rest. Scratches number 15, Moolah Man at the early stage of recording. Alistair, this is one of those races where you could cast a net over the field and you could still even almost go out.
Sheldon, I have no feel for this race, I must be honest. Lots in with chances. I think the best way to go is probably look for 2 horses that will form part of a quartet, because the quartet's going to pay here. I know that there's an even spread among the market, so we're not even looking for a hot favourite to go missing. With joint favourites being 6 Rich Folks Oaks and 10 Dawn Till Dusk, couldn't possibly leave them out. But the 2 horses that I want to highlight here, 5 Tamiris. Samanga Kamalo takes her out for Gareth Funzel. Probably didn't have the legs over 2,000 metres last time, but still not disgraced from that draw. Beat Mascarino at her penultimate start when winning the Scarlet Lady. She's been anything but disgraced. I thought her run in the Wilkebos Drift Acacia was good when finishing 4 lengths behind Gimme Fabulous from a dreadful draw. I know she had no weight on her back, but she still acquitted herself nicely. I think that she's very much alive here. And a bit of a lunatic, number 2 Mastership. Gavin takes her out, so that's always going to add to a little bit of spice. Diane Stinger there's no way Diane Stinger is bringing this horse down to Durban just for her to see the light show. And knowing Diane like I do, this horse last year looked like he was on the right track to get into serious feature races. He's just been so sparingly raced since. He's related to a whole lot of sprinters, a lot of speed in the pedigree, and I don't know, things seem to have gone awry with him. But I'm not going to leave him out as far as quartets are concerned. But if you threw any name at me, even number 12 Makazole, I'm surprised to see the price that he's at. This is a seriously good horse, Again, lost his way. Ignore the last run. He was used as the pacemaker for 8 on 18. Plus, he was never going to stay 2,000 meters, but he did his job and all ended up well. And he's back 6 weeks later for another spin, so he must have pulled up from that hard run fairly well. So he's got to be in the picture. Very, very tricky race. Sundance Kid, just for pure effort, always gets an A and always gets a mention from me. But the 2 horses I'll be rowing in with very, very small budget allocated for this race, just because I think it sets up for a bit of a wild card on numbers 2 and 5.
So numbers 2 and 5 for Alistair, and then I'm going to throw in number 7, Kitchicle. Last time out went to an unbelievable price of 7 to 1 when going on to the poly and winning, and this could be another one that you can throw into the bets and that. So race number 11, not cut and dried, but you heard from Alistair the first couple of selections, and let's see what a horse like Mastership's all about.
12th and last race. Well, they say that the 2 races you study hardest are the first and the last. The first to get off to a good start, and the last, if you're in trouble, if you're not in trouble, to make it even better or to turn your day around. This is the Gagasi FM Class 4 over 1,400 meters. Number 5, Master of the Desert, is at 4 to 1. Number 1 on the card is Open Highway at 5 to 1. Same price. Number 3, Deception Pass. Number 7, African Prince at 6 to 1. 11, Rollo the Viking, 7 to 1. 9, Lady Sabrina, 8 to 1. And 8, Dapper, 10 to 1. I wouldn't rule off the 25 to 2 shots. Numbers 4, Ishi Quishy Quishy, and 10, Down by the River. Sheldon, what's the play in the last?
Well, I've gone for 2 runners. You mentioned the first race and the last race. The first race, Whirly Bird, I've gone each way at 10 and 12 to 1. I thought that would be a big runner, and a few all to come place doubles. And then race number 12, when I studied it and I opened the book at first glance, I thought number 3, Deception Pass. I thought it's an absolute aimer at 9 to 2 and 5 to 1. Then I saw number 1, Open Highway, and I made it a boat race. So those prices, I backed both horses. I know Open Highway, you give a very big chance to. Last time over the 1,600, he dropped down to an average rating of a 78. He ran a fair 4th behind My Boy Lollipop. You mentioned the 1,600. He did see it out. From the 1 draw over 1,400 meters, massive runner. And then number 3, Deception Pass, who's 1 from 1 course and distance. I'm hoping the winner comes from one of those 2.
You're not going to believe this, Sheldon. I like the same 2 horses. And we have not compared notes either. Open Highway is going to put me in a hospital, just so you know. I've been with him more times in his last 10 starts than you care to know, including last time. It was a hard watch because he was nearly, how Gavin Larena stayed on and how Open Highway stayed on all 4. I don't know. For me, he should have won the race. And his penultimate as well, he never wins, he never beats Roaming Spirit. But again, unlucky. And the time before that, just he caught the eye, finishing second behind Bob's Your Uncle. And then, although Deception Pass been nothing on the poly when he came here, he won in good style. And I think that this horse now down, as you can tell by his form, to a very, very competitive rating. So that's the 12th and last. Hopefully that will help you out. Let's just have a look at the suggested bet segment of the show. Sheldon burnt the midnight oil and came up with what?
I ended up coming up with a bar pot. I don't often play the exotics. I usually go for my each way selections, but on this occasion I decided to go with a bar pot, and I'll give you those numbers in a second. Just refreshing you. Bar pot 1. Okay. I'm going with bar pot 1, and I'll give you my numbers in a section as we go through. Right, leg number 1, 4, 6, 8, and 9. Leg 2, numbers 4, 5, and 9. The third leg, 3, 5, and 9. So that number 9 is quite prominent in my selections. By numbers 8 and 10, by 4 and 6, and then ending off I'm going 1, 4, 6, and 11. And Alistair, I'll just be looking to survive and hopefully make a small profit on that.
That will be a big profit if that were to arrive, just because of the sheer pools and the support behind the day. Just before we go, obviously there's a lot of panel discussions, a lot of opinions that have been out and about this week. As far as these panel discussions and the mainstream is concerned, it was a great pleasure to be here during the week and host the following as far as the English preview was concerned. I had Justin Snaith, Mike DeCock, Anthony Delpesh, Rachel Venica, and Cabello Mazzaniani go through all 12 races. Spent a lot of time on the Hollywoodbets Durban July, but you can tune in onto Gallop TV and get that panel discussion. But more than that, the isiZulu panel as well. Indomiso Mgadi hosted Sanele Unu, Bowen Orbo, Atandiwe Mgulwa, and Samangu Kamalo, and got got their opinions on Africa's greatest horse race. You'll be able to catch all of those and this and more on various social media channels just to get your opinion. You can follow your favorite pundit. If you don't like Sheldon, you don't like what I have to say, there's everybody out there has got an opinion and you can feed through all of that. Sheldon, looking forward to Saturday. It is the day of dreams, and all the best on your next Hollywoodbets Durban July call as well, and all the best with all your tickets that are in your pocket.
Well, thanks very much, Alistair, and to all the viewers out there. It's that time of the year. We look forward to it, all us racing purists and enthusiasts. All I can say is bring on the day, be at the races, and enjoy.